Hi there, I'm Michael with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the JR Products Propane Hose. Like most of your propane hoses, this is going to connect between your propane tank and the regulator on your RV to allow you to use those propane-powered appliances in your RV or travel trailer. Now there are a few things that you want to look for when you're searching for a propane hose like this. The first thing is going to be the length. Obviously you want it to be able to reach from your propane tank to your regulator on your RV, so you want to make sure that the hose is going to be long enough. This hose is 30 inches long. When I measured it just a moment ago from the end to end, it was closer to about 30 3/4 of an inch, so you have just a little bit of wiggle room there. The hose itself is a rubber hose that's got a 1/4 inch inner diameter. That rubber is going to prevent any sort of kinks or cracking. That 1/4 inch inner diameter is going to allow plenty of propane to flow through so that we can run all of our appliances in our RV. The second thing that you want to pay attention to is your fittings. So we've got two different fittings on this hose. This big green one here is our RV Type 1 ACME, or it's sometimes called a QCC connection. This is what's actually going to mount onto your propane tank. It's going to screw onto the outside of the propane tank valve. And the threading is going to allow it to screw on clockwise, which is pretty intuitive for those of us who know the righty-tighty, lefty-loosey method. There are some fittings that mount the other direction. It's a little bit more confusing. You have to pay more attention to what you're doing, but this one is going to make it very simple to get installed. You're not going to need any tools or anything. You can just tighten it by hand. One of the nice things about this QCC connection is it's got an internal back check that's going to prevent any sort of gas leak from our regulator inlet. And if there is a gas leak detected, too much gas flowing through, it is going to go into bypass mode, which means it's just going to kind of crimp down to make sure that the gas pressure is at its minimum capacity to try and help prevent any sort of gas leaks or anything like that. If it does go into bypass mode, it's pretty easy to get it out of. You just got to build up the pressure again, let the system know that there is no leak. But you're going to have a nice high flow rate before you ever get into that bypass mode, so you're still going to be able to get all of the propane to your appliances so that you can run all those at once. You're not going to have to worry about it, and it should be pretty infrequent that that goes into bypass mode if it ever does. But it is nice to know that it's there in case we do get a leak. It's going to help protect us there. The other end, we're going to have a 1/4 inch male inverted flare, and this is what's going to go into your regulator on your RV. You might not know whether your RV has the inverted female flare end. It's pretty easy to tell if you go out and look at your regulator and it's got a gold adapter fitting. It is almost certainly going to need the 1/4 inch male inverted flare end to hook up to it. And one thing to keep in mind, your QCC connection is going to be pretty standard. It's going to work with almost all your LP gas cylinders. Your inverted flare, there is a little bit of variation with your regulators, so you do want to check that to see if this is going to work for your needs. Keep in mind this hose is designed for LP gas only, so of course LP stands for liquid propane. You don't want to use any other gases or water or anything with this hose. This hose is UL and CSA approved, so it's going to meet those quality standards. It's going to hold up well for you and do the job you need it to do. Now, if this isn't the hose that you need, I'd invite you to come take a look at our other options here at etrailer.com. Our goal is always to help you find the product that you need to solve your problem so you can get back to enjoying your time outdoors. That's going to complete our look at the JR Products Propane Hose.